Today, let's talk about Donald Trump. Since when he has become the new elected president of the United States of America, he has been really going nuts. When I said nuts, I mean he has been going nuts because he's just, signing a lot of crazy executive order. But I think one thing he's failing to understand is America need the world, and also the world also need America. So it's give and take, and this is like how it works. So because no one can really do it all, really no one. It's just a little bit of here and a little bit of there. This is how the world get to evolve and just keep moving. In other way, if we stop to collaborate with each other today, like each and every part of the world, like some countries in Africa said, okay, we only want to do our things as an African, and European countries also said we only want to do our things as European, and then nobody is exchanging any kind of goods and services. This one is going to have like a lot of heat on like many parts of the world, and especially I think the Western countries. Okay, let me break this down to you. The reason is why I'm saying this is Donald Trump recently also signed a new executive order to stop the aid that was provided to African countries. But what he also failed is when he stopped those aid, okay, now South Africa decided to stop all the American operating businesses in South Africa, which means America cannot run a business in South Africa, and also South Africa don't get anything from the US anyway. So which means now who is losing? Okay, I don't think South Africa has too many business in the United States, but America has a lot of business. And if all African countries take this bold step and take this bold move by South Africa, America, I won't say will be brought to his knees, because America is just a crazy country. The next thing you're going to see is they are going to invade your country. This is just what is going to happen. Allegedly, this is what they are going to do, like theoretically. And it's going to make you feel like who is really ruling the world. And is it the West, or is it the Africans, or is it these are just some of the things I think we Africans, we are failing to understand our own value, because that part of we understanding our own value, what we bring to the table is the thing. And until we start to understand, we also have something to give. And if America cut all the aid to African countries should take the same step and block all the minerals resources exporting to America. All the business relationships should be cut and should be blocked. Okay, let's say they already assume Africa is a poor continent, okay? And many countries in Africa, they're just so poor, they have nothing to give, they are primitive in their development and so on, but they are more civilized. Let's say we just cut all this relationship up. What is going to happen? How is the world going to keep moving? And we have like a really genocide going on in Congo, but you won't see it on the mainstream media, because they only project and they only televise what they want you to see. They only bring the news that for them is moderate. And this is also the reason why there is a lot of huge question when it comes to, let's say, this modern journalism. And I also think this is also the only way we can bridge the gap from this, matrix media, and also like this media is like independent journalism. And this is the only way that can bring the information to the people, because I think all this bullying needs to stop. All this, okay, America is the best country, it should always be respected by Africans, it needs to stop. If America cuts the aid to African countries, all African countries should do the same. But the problem we have in Africa is the unity, the coming together to really unite and fight against the Easterners' affair. This is where we have the problem. Because if we decide today to really do our own thing, all the mineral resources without Congo, there is nothing like a So like these heavy vehicles they have, there is nothing like that. There is no such thing as iPhone. There is no such thing as nuclear power, and many of these mineral resources are taken away from Africa, and then they revolutionize it and say, okay, they create the first EV vehicles, but all the minerals, all the resources, all these companies are using to thrive today is by African countries. It's from African countries. And we need to start, they need to start to understand, but they will not understand, not because they don't understand, they do understand, but we ourselves, we fail to acknowledge our own power, especially when you have also some kind of bourgeois negro like Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda. That dude is African Hitler. For me, allegedly. I would just put it this way, because the problem is when you have people like Paul Kagame, who is like back with Western power, Western money, Western politics, everything, it's very hard to speak the truth. And when you have people like Paul Kagame within the African leader community, I'm not saying Nigeria, where I came from, is the best country in terms of politics. There is no corruptions or there is nothing like that. And even there is also a huge problem now also going on with Nigeria, because the French government is also using Nigerian government to do some of its dirty works, and which is something I'm not also proud of as a Nigerian. And all these things has to be talking about. And we as African, we don't need Europeans, and the Europeans also, let's say they don't need us. Let's just give it a shot, like one-on-one shot like that. And especially when this Donald Trump just think he got everything right, and that there is nothing he can do. America will always be America without African resources. That's a lie. That one, I'm 100% sure it's a lie, because America is not a country that has any resources anyway. Really, everything they have, it was stolen from another country. They just invade with gun, with their bombs, and this is just it. Okay, now there is a question of, okay, how did they do it? No, there is law, but the truth is, where is the law? Where is the law that protect even the Native American, that their land was stolen and taken away from them and be dominated by the Western and European power that call themselves today United States of America? And Africans, we need to start to understand this. We need them, they need us. We don't need us, they don't need us, we don't need them. We want you and you want us. It has to be this way. We have a lot of leverages. Our resources, our talent, our what's it called? Our people in general, everything. We have everything. But we need to come to the understanding of that. Because these things cannot, these centuries and many years of bullying will keep going if we don't realize and understand what is our own worth. Because today now you have person like Donald Trump and would said most immigrant or all immigrant has to leave America. Even American citizens were stopped on the street and be harassed by the ICE asking for their document because they think they are illegal immigrant. And the reality is those people are even African American, Black American. I don't like to even use the word Black American because they are Americans, by the way, for me, because they are born there. And there, of course, yeah, we know there is a lot of histories and a lot of stories how they came to come to America, and it's also the betrayers of many African kingdoms, many African kings and queens that sold their own people out for slavery. And this is also some of the things we need to address. And the same thing that happened those years ago, it's still happening today. Especially when you have all these bourgeois presidents and governors and presidential executive that just keep exploiting their own people for Western profit, for Western gain, because they are just going to give one of their kids a scholarship to study somewhere, and the people who don't have the same privilege like them will be thrown away. America need African the same way Africa, for now, we need America. So it's give and take, and Africans need to understand it. This leverage, we have it, but we cannot put it in play when we don't really take actions into what we really have. So I'll drop the mic here and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.